Is it finally over for MrBeast? Because it looks really bad currently.
New MrBeast allegations have just dropped and it's not looking good for Jimmy. So last time we talked about Dogpack404's viral video where a former MrBeast employee exposes Jimmy for allegedly conducting illegal lotteries towards children, promoting gambling,
What? What does that even mean?
faking his videos, forging signatures,
Obviously, he fakes videos. I think this is a well-known fact. He himself has actually said that, oh yeah, if a video is not good enough, we redo it, reshoot it, and make it better. So this should not be anything new.
manipulating who wins the prizes and monies in his game shows, and mostly giving it to his...
Yeah, this is expected. Most giveaways on YouTube are as fake as they come. Either the giveaway doesn't happen and the person that gets it is the person that made the lottery, they just make a burner account, or it's some friend, family, or whoever. Because the reality is, no one's really checking are the lotteries real.
His friends and employees rather than random viewers, and much more. Now, I mentioned in my last video that MrBeast was actually caught in the same Discord server where Tyson was openly sharing prawn to minors. And now we have allegedly
Are you surprised? I'm not.
Confirmation that it was indeed the real Jimmy, and it is seemingly provable by searching the archives and seeing that his account is linked to the MrBeast gaming channel, which is not possible unless you own the channel and can log in. Meaning essentially MrBeast lied in his response, saying that he just became aware of Chris's actions in the past few days, when in reality,
I mean, of course, he's gonna lie. Now, the good part for MrBeast is he has a lot of money to buy a lot of lawyers. The guy who made that video is probably gonna get sued by Jimmy to be silenced. Nice. And it's a crazy world we live in, and I'm glad I get to see the downfall of MrBeast.
reality, he knew all along. As we know, he had the lollipop art hanging from his living room wall, and he
Yes.
was in the same server as Chris sending messages, and he was best friends with Chris for over a decade and defended him until the recent drama. Now, it actually...
Listen, if you are stupid enough to believe, hey, this is my roommate, this is my best friend, we live together, we work together, and I don't know any of the dark shit that he does, well, you're probably the average 10-year-old MrBeast fan.
Actually gets worse for MrBeast and Chris because 500,000 messages have been released to the public from that Discord server. Keep in mind, this is after Chris and his squad wiped out every message that they thought was incriminating, but there's still so many left. Moreover, Lava, one of the victims who was groomed by Chris...
Oh, yeah, this guy who was like, oh, nothing bad happened, and then the message gets revealed, and he's like, well, maybe I kind of misremembered this. This is actually pretty horrible. Wow, no S, dude. This is exactly what everyone, including myself and the rest of the world that has a brain, have been telling you. That's how grooming works. Wow.
Now recognizes that it was inappropriate and wrong what was happening in the server. So let's go over these messages and explore this insane rabbit hole. Here we have a tweet by Drama Alert, a thread of all the weird things Tyson allegedly said in the Discord with minors. She's only 14. Damn. Okay, so these messages are from 2018. Somebody posts an attachment. Chris replies saying she's only 14. Damn. And this is allegedly BB, which I'm not gonna say her name, otherwise my last video got age restricted and demonetized, completely suppressed when I said her name. So
you know what's the craziest part, by the way, in my opinion, about PDF files? And by the way, I don't care if people in the, oh wait, no, he's not actually a PDF because the puberty. I don't care. Listen, anything below 18 is just a PDF file to me. And saying otherwise is supporting them, and you should feel bad and you should be called out. Listen, that's not okay. But you know what's the wildest part about this? They're talking to like 14, 13, 12-year-olds. Like, damn, have you ever actually interacted with a 14-year-old? What the hell do you even talk to them about? Most of the time, it's just you being there and saying, uh-huh, and them just talking about something you don't even care about. It is absolute insanity, okay? The fact that they are actually like, oh, yeah, let's talk, you're so mature. How? how can you even withstand just the process of trying to have a legitimate conversation with someone of that age? How?
What did you think she was? 16 and legal in some states. Oof, of course. If she's 14, I'm 14. Chris allegedly sharing links to the famed lollipop artist Shadman, and Chris has linked the website. Chris the meme god, also referred to as Lollipop God, is back. Designated Lollipop, yes it's me, yay you're back, ooh woo. What am I, a parent? Chris Tyson's alleged response to a request to delete an NSFW channel because there were minors in the Discord. I don't have any issue with the channel. What I have an issue with are minors that have access to said channel. Chris says, is there even a way to do that? Not really, no. So what do we do, lol? Remove it? No, people like it. Even if there was a way, anyone can lie about their age. Yeah, true. And I mean, to be fair, the internet is full of prawn. Discord says if you can't regulate it, don't have one. It's a responsibility of the server owner to prevent minors from viewing prawn materials. Chris responds saying, what am I, a
By the way, I love all these sites that host people and say, okay, now it's your responsibility that our site that we own and you do not own is good. So, you know, I love that.
parent? Lol. I say we get rid of this because the fan base of MrBeast and Chris are mostly under 18. And Chris obviously completely ignored this and continued going with his absolute degenerate tendencies with minors. Chris says there's nothing more free than peeing in the shower facts, waterproof phone gang, and added an attachment
It's not even enjoyable, to be completely honest.
of presumably his image. We only worship Jeebus around here. Challenge accepted. The god. Oh yeah, daddy Chris. That's a lot of moisturizer. Why are you in the shower? I don't know if this was a picture of Chris or something with minimal clothing, but this is bad. This is bad. Allegedly Chris Tyson role-playing. No, it is not. Buzzles your necky wecky. Fight me. Love you guys. Nuzzles PP. Nah. Unzips PP. Okay, Chris. You need to be locked up ASAP. Now, it gets really bad when you realize that MrBeast was also in the server sending messages. MrBeast and Chris Tyson Discord leaks. MrBeast allegedly complimenting Chris Tyson's PP size in Chris's Discord server with minors. No, he's not. His PP.
By the way, considering the messages are leaked, imagine how many other people, other celebrities, other YouTubers are going to be at some point found to have been a part of these servers or whatever. Yeah. There's probably a few.
PP isn't big enough, I'd know. MrBeast, this is the actual MrBeast. No, I know his PP size and it's huge. Beast, are you gay the moment you... Okay. I'll deep throat Chris PP. Haha, MrBeast joins in to comment on my PP.
Well, that makes sense why Chris decided to, you know, become a manual shift instead of the normal version.
Size, I love it, and that's Chris. Vindication, Jake Franklin, Jake the Viking, also tweeted out saying Jimmy knew, and then he says, I called it because these texts have been revealed, and it has been confirmed that it is actually
There is no way, again, if you're stupid enough to think that Jimmy did not know, you are not living on the same planet as me.
MrBeast. It has been linked to his official account, as I mentioned. Oh lord, it's going to be a long night. Okay, so I gotta mention a couple additional things that are happening on the side. Chris Tyson is being accused of SA by someone.
Oh, I know about this one. Again. Listen. It's typically just not one bad thing a person does of this kind of stature, of this kind of history. Okay? Listen, it's not only one thing typically. It's probably a bunch.
By Ava Chris Tyson. Mooskina has come out with their story here. I'm not gonna go into it. You can go ahead and read it if you want. A lot of stuff going on here. I pretty much gotta censor all of this or YouTube's gonna nuke me again, which I...
Also, by the way, some of these accusations are probably lies. People just want to get their 5 minutes of fame. Let's be completely honest, but a lot of them probably aren't.
Don't want. He's done. This is the nail in the coffin accusation. Is anyone else not surprised? Now, it turns out, because the situation got so huge, Chris Tyson's own sister has come out saying that Chris is faking being trans as a fetish. I'm his sibling. He, and yes, I use the correct pronoun, told me that he got fully aroused when he secretly stole my female clothes and put them on. He's deluded and disturbed, and it's 100% a fetish. He's narcissistic, and professionals have told him he needs a full psych eval. This would be absolutely groundbreaking if he was mocking the LGBT community by, you know, pretending to be trans or something like that. But I can't confirm any of this. These are allegations from other people, right? So I'm just reporting on it. And before anyone says anything, yes, it is confirmed that is Chris's sister. Former MrBeast employee Jake the Viking says, after seeing all of this, I'm glad that they fired me. I think nobody wants to be involved with MrBeast anymore, and he's gonna have a really hard time hiring people anymore. Now we gotta move on to the MrBeast game situation.
Dude, we're gonna have to watch the Mudahars of the world, the Asmongols of the world, whatever they're gonna say. Are they finally... Because this is now completely Joker. Okay, listen, this is now over. Is it finally time for everyone's favorite, always on the right side of history YouTubers to finally make a video, their statement that something is not good? Oh, I bet it is.
Basically, MrBeast is doing an Amazon show called Beast Games, and it's essentially one of his videos, but on a very wide scale, right? And tons of people are coming out with so many allegations that the environment was incredibly unsafe, with allegedly people being denied medication, being beaten by other contestants, given very little food, some allegations that girls were tackled and assaulted by guys on the show with zero repercussions. MrBeast is a monster. MrBeast's alleged contestant speaks out, claims unfair teams and contestants being defressed after. MrBeast just wants to psychologically disturb people.
They eliminated 400 people the first day. Those 400 people.
Wow, I don't even see. I'm looking currently at Asmongold's channel. I don't see him having a video. Maybe he's trying to completely dodge this subject, considering OTK's history. Because he definitely does not want anyone to look into that ever again. Let's check Mudahar.
The majority of them were forced by the other team members to be on the specific team they were. Some were just about like physically like assaulted to be put onto one team, which ended up making it like the weakest team, since it was a lot of like elderly people, petite women, and people that just, I mean, they weren't willing.
No, also nothing. Jesus. Wow, these people are such absolute just spineless cowards. Man, being a fence sitter and trying to always be on the right side of history, pathetic.
To take on 6 guys that were surrounding them, trying to take their vest so that they can actually be on that. Of the 400 people that left, the majority of them, I'd say at least half, are all extremely depressed. Like, MrBeast is a monster, and the games that he does are really cruel and sick. I mean, there are a lot of updates that I'm going to give. I made a video last night when I was prepared and planning on last night. It was supposed to be $1,000. That's like nothing. 4 months. It was going to take 4 months to get to me, as MrBeast and his staff knew that I was homeless and had nothing when I went on the show, and I had to buy stuff for wardrobe to be on the show. Many people, sometimes they hadn't gotten their medication for like 2 days. Some of it was like epileptic medication, like really vital, necessary medication.
Okay, so some people are saying that she might be exaggerating, you know, blowing it out of proportion, or
I see no I believe this happens on reality TV game shows constantly, because they care about the end product. If you go into an epileptic seizure, they can just cut that thing right out of the show. There's no problem.
Or she's just salty that she lost the game and she didn't win any money and she's a sore loser. Now, that could be the case, but considering she said she wants to game end herself, that would seem sort of serious. Also, you'd think that MrBeast would help out one of the sort of homeless contestants, seems like in line with his values, but apparently not. Now, the only reason...
Bro, what the hell do you mean in line with his values? I have been saying this about MrBeast constantly. MrBeast is not a good guy. He literally has never done a single good thing in his life unless there was a camera filming him. There is a difference between a good person and someone who just wants to be called good. And MrBeast is just someone who wants to be called good. There is not a single point in history where someone has said, oh, MrBeast actually just donated money without making a video about it. And people are, well, it's donate. Yes, it's bad. Yes, it's bad. If you are donating money literally just for the literally for the reason that people call you a great person, that is bad because you're effectively trying to make a facade of yourself. MrBeast has never done a single good thing in his entire life unless there was a camera pointed in his direction.
The reason I showed this person is because there's also tons of other people coming out saying the same thing, including reporters who went to the location and nurses in nearby hospitals where MrBeast filmed, saying that there were people severely injured and the conditions were super inhumane, right? Where people were denied medication and food and proper hygiene. Now, a blast from the past for Rosanna Pansino, the YouTuber with like 15 million subs, who was complaining about MrBeast's hide and seek challenge. She
Oh yeah, I remembered this one.
also made 2 videos about this. Here is the first one.
I wanted to keep you guys updated on what I've been hearing about MrBeast's Beast games. Since I posted my video yesterday, I've pretty much been talking with more people involved with the show all day. At this point, I've lost track, but I think it's nearing like 100 people who have reached out to me with their stories. Each person has their own experience and their own opinions, but overall, the stories that I'm hearing just break my heart. I have never heard.
By the way, I don't even honestly want to say that MrBeast is the worst person in the universe for not taking care of every contestant, because that's just kind of impossible. The amount of work logistics that it would take to take care of technically everyone is just so impossible. But that doesn't mean it's right. That doesn't mean it's good. You should probably do the bare minimum, aka, not get anyone dead.
Of anything like this on any set. So today I want to read a statement from another contestant who shares many of the same experiences with the other stories that I'm hearing.
Okay, there's gonna be a lot of reading. Feel free to skip this part, but I'll try to interject my commentary and let you know what I actually think. I was a contestant until the end. I also didn't accept their hush money. It was really bad. People were having seizures because they weren't getting medication, even though we were promised we would. It was 100% rigged and presented as though the games would be like Squid Games, basically a type of game show where all the games are at an even playing field. That was not at all the case. The games were about speed and strength. I assume this is similar to the Netflix show Physical 100, where it's like physical challenges, right? So only the young athletic males were at an advantage over the women and elderly people that were casted. To make things worse, men started realizing they could take out the women without being eliminated. Guys started tackling and hitting women. 2 girls were tackled and passed out on the field and dragged off to continue filming. I saw people with broken bones, stitches, and most were women. This is straight out of an absolute...
I mean, it makes sense. Hey, if you're gonna go there and you're gonna try to win that prize money, I mean, go all out. What can I say? Honestly, pure Darwinism. What can I say? It makes sense. This was what happened in Squid Games also, by the way. So, if he makes his own version of Squid Games, it does make sense that that's happening. Now, it does make sense, but again, is this acceptable? Obviously not. Yeah, you can't just allow, you can't just see contestants who are, good for the camera, but they're literally brutalizing all the elderly and women to get them out of the contest and be like, yeah, I'll accept this. They're obviously going 2 steps too far, but I'll accept this because it's a good video. Yeah, again, technically in the spirit of Squid Games, but definitely actually not acceptable in real life.
Horror show, and the fact that multiple people are coming out with this is absolutely insane. I'm really hoping some contestants come out who haven't signed NDAs and let us know if all of this is true or false.
All contestants have signed NDAs. There is no way they haven't.
Because this is an insane scandal. We were given maybe 4...
Now, to be fair, people fear NDAs. People... I have said this once, I'll say it again because people need to get smarter. There is no NDA in the fucking world unless you sign it with the FBI themselves that prevents you from speaking out potentially against illegal things. If you were under duress of death, if you were under duress of violence, if you were intimidated, if you were mistreated in an illegal way, NDAs don't do anything. NDAs have absolutely no power over the word of the law of the country that you reside in. There is no such thing. Again, maybe there is with FBI, I don't know, or something like that. But, you know, there is no company that you can sign an NDA with, and they do illegal things to you, and you don't have the ability to speak out. The NDA is moot and void. It's just an intimidation tactic. They can't even sue you. What are you going to do? You come out and say that these bad things happened, you're gonna get sued? For what? Them breaking the law? They're gonna sue you for them breaking the law? No, that doesn't happen. There is no NDA that actually can go around this. People just don't understand this. Same with filming. If there is a place where you can't film or record a conversation, if you think it's illegal or something illegal is being discussed there and you're going to use that to go to the police, you can film all you want. Because again, there's no such thing as NDA can't film. If you think something illegal has happened, NDAs don't work. Now, if you go on Twitter and yap about it and not to the police, that's a different story. But NDAs, if something illegal is being done, don't work, ever.
400 calories a meal and only fed every 12 hours. Food would run out and people would fight, steal, and hoard food. What kind of sick game was this? I thought this was a regular MrBeast video, but they're fighting over food and water? Water was scarce and kept running out as well. I had to sit with a bloody pad for 2 days before I get undergarments and my reusable pads because I'm allergic to regular pads. We're also sleep deprived, only allowed to sleep 3 to 4 hours. We all slept on the floor on the stadium in a $10 sleeping bag. They offered anyone who lost $1,000 to sign away their rights to join any kind of class action lawsuit of any kind. That is an insane thing to even offer in the first place. Isn't that?
Now, to be fair, a thing where you cannot join a class action lawsuit, that is legit though. Unless it's illegal. But if your feelings just got hurt or it's a bruise or something, then that is gonna stand. So, you know, Jesus.
Implying that you've already done something really wrong. I didn't sign, so I did not get the money. After the article came out and things started blowing up, they called everyone back and decided to offer an additional $1,000 per person to make up for the inconveniences. Ooh. And we'll get to the article as well because that is yet another bombshell. Damn. They knew it was bad because they also offered to provide therapy sessions using their own insurance. And it wasn't Amazon Prime that called me, it was the MrBeast crew. So this therapy session would coincide with what that woman was saying about how she wanted to neck herself. I mean, initially, I did think it was a bit far-fetched because it's a game show, but if what they're saying is true and you were beaten and starved, I mean, yeah, you would want to neck yourself and you need therapy sessions, right? I mean, this would be an insane story to make up by 10 different people at the same time. I mean, that's kind of crazy to me, so I'm inclined to believe at least some of this stuff happened. Possibly they're exaggerating, but at least a lot of the bad things did happen here. We were set up to fail, and when men started tackling people to get them out, nothing was done about it. They were not even eliminated. The game that had to do with the briefcase, it literally felt like Hunger Games, while MrBeast is standing on his podium, looking down, watching all of us peasants fight for a chance at $5 million. I know it's a game show, and even with the waiver, it's a company's responsibility to have safety protocols in place to try to prevent injuries. That is not what was happening here.
Yeah, that's why they wanted you to sign that they can't sue, but can't do a class action lawsuit.
The fact that there were nurses at the hospital in Las Vegas are also confirming all the injuries that happened is proof they did not have to sign an NDA. So this is what gives the most credibility to the situation.
Can nurses even sign an NDA? Can doctors even? I don't think doctors are legally allowed to sign NDAs for stuff like this.
Because even in the article it mentions that, yeah, the nurses are confirming these stories as well because they were getting a sudden influx of injured people and it was all coming from the MrBeast challenge, dude. And I think the reason this happened is because MrBeast is used to dealing with 100, 200 people at a time, maybe. And he went straight to 5,000 or something, like way more than he can handle. And, you know, he didn't have the staff. He didn't have the sort of team to handle all of this. And this absolutely blew up in his face. Here we got yet another contestant with another story. I was expecting for this competition to be hard, but I did not expect to endure what I did. It was a shit show to say the least. I believe they were in over their heads and did not plan very well. Here are some of the things I experienced. No one was using a microphone to make announcements, so it was very hard to hear what production was saying. A lot of things got missed. I had to hear through the grapevine about certain things like when they had Gatorade, when we could go to medical, and when they had snack bags. This just seems like a really poorly organized event that led to an absolute disaster, you know?
I mean, yeah, the fact that you even failed to announce things properly was kind of wild.
They handed out undergarment bags to everyone alphabetically by last name. I did not receive my undergarments until the second day of filming. After the first competition, they hadn't fed us in a while and I was feeling lightheaded. I asked someone if they had anything to eat and they told me to push through and basically suck it up. Oh, you want food, peasant? Nah, not here in the MrBeast.
Bro, you're in the MrBeast Hunger Games, okay? That's still food. Listen, you're the food.
This is a dojo, all right? You don't get food, pal. On the first day, after 12 hours of having contacts in my eyes, I asked someone if I could go to medical to take them out, and they told me no.
No,
I witnessed
of
two
course.
people that had seizures, and it took medical.
By the way, that's dangerous. You're not supposed to do that with contacts. I mean, the chance that something happens is kind of rare, I guess, but it's still dangerous.
Several minutes for them to get there. I'm assuming this happened because they did not have access to medication, but I could be completely wrong. Medics should have been on the field 24/7, ready to go at all times. Why are people having seizures at your event, MrBeast? What the heck? I heard people were being pushed and shoved by males. I received an email yesterday checking how they're going to check footage and because they take violence seriously. They should have done this during the game and not after the fact. I would say most of the challenges were
Oh, this is just trying to cover up, of course.
definitely geared towards strong.
Because and this is also a stupid thing to do, because there's probably someone who said, hey, these people are literally bullying people out of the game while it's not even being recorded. And someone just said, so what, fam? And yeah, oh my lord, this is so bad.
And fast men. Yeah, I mean, if you got eliminated and then the next day you realize they cheated, that would be completely messed up and probably illegal. Like, because despite the fact that this is like a game show or whatever the hell, they have to follow certain rules or you're
Yeah, what kind of man are you?
just, I don't know, wasting people's time and essentially lying to them and breaking your contract. When all the contestants arrived back to the hotel, we were supposed to have flights booked for us to go home. I woke up the next day and with no flight information, with so many contestants trying to go home, I heard they would not have all the flights booked until a few days later. That is so messed up. I had to book my own flight and use money out of my own pocket because I couldn't wait that long because I had to return to work. They're going to reimburse us, but there's no telling when I will see the money. They gave out feastable chocolates. Oh yes, the 30 grams of sugar.
Oh, it's feastables! Oh my, no, come on.
Load everyone up with some diabetes real quick. My group hoarded chocolate because we weren't sure when the next time they would feed us, and we were afraid we would get hungry. I mean, honestly, this stuff sounds straight out of a survival horror movie or something like that, where there's some evil game show lord who is messing with the peasants and shit like that. I don't know how much of this is legit, how much of this is confirmed, but I can't say there have been multiple people reporting the
Dude, this is cool though.
exact same thing with the nurses in the hospital, with the contestants.
The statement I just read doesn't even cover the half of what I'm hearing. I'm also waiting for confirmation that there were only 2 ambulances for well over 2,000 people, the contestants, including the entire crew. And I'm speaking with someone from the crew right now to get confirmation about how many people were on the crew.
Now here's a picture that I probably blurred. It's essentially somebody's leg that is badly bruised, and apparently they have broken bones after attending this Beast Games event or whatever, and they got brutally assaulted. Another contestant says no medications, no undergarments, despite supplying 5 days of only electrolytes were Gatorade handed out, ran out of meals for people, water would run out, was not a safe space. Many of us knew it would be mentally challenging, but the danger...
Okay, listen, I think the food part is a little bit more important than water part than not a safe space.
put in and lack of care was unexpected. No clear communication between staff, making it worse. people were prepared to go into a MrBeast challenge. They obviously know it can be challenging because they've watched the videos, but they weren't there to be literally tortured. You know, from some of these stories, if these are true, this is torture. All right, denying somebody food, water, medication, and basic sanitation is absolutely insane. One contestant noted production staff hired locally were treated poorly, with some working shifts in excess of 24 hours in a row. Medications such as inhalers, contact lenses, feminine hygiene products were surrendered, which caused concern among the production's medical staff. Yeah, that is really weird. Why are you confiscating medication? In like what challenge will their inhaler possibly help them? Oh my god, you need to breathe? I'm sorry, no breathing allowed in a MrBeast challenge. Contestants were asked to give production team several pair of undergarments, which were not returned upon disqualification. That is crazy. Stealing people's underpants.
Well, yeah. What are you gonna do? Have a, giant tub of underwear and be like, okay, now everyone go and get your own? Listen, okay? In a situation like that, I'm just looking for the hottest looking small tongue I can find, and hopefully it's not from a dude.
Is nah, you taking my underwear, we have beef for life. Okay, I'm sorry, that is crazy, bro. MrBeast representative says this information is inaccurate. What a great elaboration. It's just inaccurate, guys. Is Chris, even my friend, inaccurate? Just yeah, didn't know any of this actually.
Has MrBeast ever actually met Chris Tyson, or was it all just a giant Photoshop? Who knows?
Doing illegal lotteries on YouTube for children? Inaccurate, actually. A hospital employee told us, I'm aware of 3 or 4 hospital evacs today. Overnight shift said it was insane, so not sure if or how many hospital evacs were there. Production is a shit show and unprepared for the scale, making decisions as they go along. The bare bones medic staff on site is not adequate, and we're overwhelmed.
You know what's gonna happen? They're gonna come out and say, oh, we were not prepared to handle something of this scale. And again, yeah, technically true. I agree. It's really hard to actually organize something like this. I have never done it, but I assume it's actually super hard. It's way harder than people think to organize some kind of big level event. Okay? But that's not an excuse that it was your first time and was not exactly easy to do. Okay? Anyway, MrBeast is gonna be done. More Pegasus. Bye.